think that the better clients are making a decision on price. That's not the basis, unless they have no other criteria. And so your job is to give them some other criteria. Okay, so I had two questions this week that were asked me a couple times about pricing and about increased visibility. And as I started talking about the two of them, I realized that there's a really interesting intersection. And so what I'm going to suggest to you is, if you don't increase your visibility, which puts you in the expert category, then you're a commodity. We all shop for commodities kind of the same way, right? We know the features we want, and then we look for the best value. But if you're differentiating yourself and sort of stratifying yourself into the area of being a specialist, then you want to promote that, because it's going to matter to some people. Some people are going to want to hire the specialist. In fact, I think most people are going to want to hire the specialist over the generalist. So interestingly, increasing your visibility increases your perceived expertise, and it also increases your own confidence, which is your, not perceived expertise, I guess kind of your internal expertise and what you know. If you follow me at all, you've probably heard me talk about this, and that is, what do I have to say? And you think, I don't know. You feel like it's all been said. So here's the thing. Here's the little secret. It doesn't matter what's been said. It doesn't matter if you have a unique viewpoint or a voice. What matters is that you've said something, right? Because if I've written a bunch on that, who cares? They're not hiring me. But if they're hiring you, or they're interested in you, and you've written about that, suddenly you become elevated in their eyes. What you want to have, I think everyone needs, is you need an anchor piece that shares your viewpoint, that's relevant to what it is that you're selling, right? Like, I have a document called Copy That Closes, and it's about writing good copy, writing copy that speaks to your audience instead of copy that's all about you. And that's what it's about. And I have different pages that I use to adapt for different markets, to say, oh, well, here's what this kind of copy is, and here's how you can use it, for this specialty or in this industry or business. And so what that anchor piece does is it gives me instant credibility, because people read it. It's like, oh, she has a viewpoint. It's not really original thinking. It is my viewpoint. I have some of my own examples, but if you see what I mean, it just shows people that I have a viewpoint and I know my stuff, which is the whole point. I don't think that the better clients are making a decision on price. That's not the basis, unless they have no other criteria. And so your job is to give them some other criteria. So some of that really is positioning. So you need to find, what's your little je ne sais quoi, your little special something that you can talk about. Like for me, I talk about being seasoned. It's like, oh, I figured out how I can capitalize on the fact that I have these gray hairs. It's like, I've been doing this a long time. And that's kind of my hook, or my differentiator is years of experience. And so consider too that, what sets you apart could be anything. It could be the way that you do sales calls. It could be the way that you write your proposals. Another way to differentiate yourself is with your strategy. Particularly copywriters, I don't think we use this enough. I can't tell you how many times I've heard somebody say, either a client or a copywriter, where the client, tells me this, where the client has said, I didn't know copywriters did all that. You can help me with strategy and help me to figure this out. It's like, we need to be blowing our own horns a little bit more. But think about the strategy piece. Think about the value you can bring to differentiate yourself when you can actually offer opinions and give advice. I mean, you don't, raise your hand. I can offer opinions and give advice because,
hey, ain't nobody trying to hear that bullshit, man.
Nobody wants that until they know what kind of, opinions or advice you would give. But I just, as an example, like when I get on a sales call, in order to demonstrate my expertise, I'll tell them about what I see. Like, oh, you want to generate more leads, and we're talking about a marketing funnel, and it could have these pieces. But, there's also this possibility. By telling them what I see, they start to get a sense of how I think and what I know. That's a differentiator. I mean, literally, that's what I use to separate myself out. But the more confident you are, or the more confident you appear, the more you differentiate yourself, the more you are the person in charge. So let's tie this all together. Increased visibility or establishing expertise is done most easily with an anchor piece. It's some piece, an opinion piece that you have. And the cool thing is, once you have that piece, you can use it in all kinds of ways to get in front of your audience. It's the piece that says what you think. And I just want to encourage you, just do it. Make a shitty first draft. Tell yourself no one else is ever going to see it. Just sit down and say what you would say. What is your opinion? How does this all work? What do you see people need to do? It doesn't matter, like maybe where you learn that or how you know that, it's what you know. And that's what I want you to share. And if you have that anchor piece, it's very easy, whatever kind of situation you're in, to say, oh, yeah, let me share my. And so I think if you want to separate yourself and you don't want to be a commodity and you don't want to be chosen because of price, then have something that's different about you. And that is be an expert. And again, remember, being an expert is not unique to any one person. There can be a lot of experts in something. You can have the same viewpoint, you can have a different viewpoint. The important thing is that you have a viewpoint and that people know that you do and what that is, so that they can choose you and choose you because of how you've expressed what it is that you do and what it is that you think. And it's much easier to choose somebody who, tells you what you're getting if you choose them. And so be that person and put yourself out there, and you will be very surprised how quickly, your conversations move to, oh, well, what's the price? And that's the decision maker, to, wow, ooh, people are moving in closer. It's like, I want to work with this person. What will it cost me? So think about that. Like, instead of like, how little can I spend? How can I find the money to afford this person because they are the right person for the job? I hope this was helpful. I hope it gave you some ideas and things to think about. And if you don't have an anchor piece, consider making one. There's even a way that you feel sort of grounded and solidified when you've got that created and available. If you haven't, you're probably agonizing, and that's not a great state to be in. Thanks for watching. Bye for now. If you'd like to be notified when these videos drop, click the bell. I'll catch you next time.